What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre tutorials and reviews, back in here with one more video. All right, guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, you already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Shout out to YouTuber Michelle Amore. She uploaded a video entitled Kevin and Samuel's Advice Got Me Engaged. Very interesting title. So I think that we need to go in there. Now I will say this as well, guys. This video was almost 30 minutes long. So more than likely I will be chopping it up. So I'll leave a link to the young lady's video down in the description box down below. Go up there and check out the entirety of the video. All right, I got nothing else to say. Let's just get active. Let's go in there. Without further ado.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Amore, and if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel.
Amore.
So today's video is a bit of a different one for me. I will say that I went back and forth for a long time about whether or not I even wanted to make this video, but after talking to my fiance, who was on board from the get-go, I realized that this is important and something I really shouldn't be shy about sharing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my big girl panties and speak my mind. Now, Kevin Samuels is someone who has definitely been gaining a lot of traction recently. I actually found out about him when he was still at like under 100K subscribers. A man I was dating at the time told me about him, and I started learning more about the manosphere on YouTube and learning more about different positions that men have. So anyway, when the gentleman I was dating...
Here's the reason why I'm saying there's going to be a large component of women on the opposite side of YouTube that's going to hear her talk and absolutely hate what she's talking about. Listen, I've said this from Jump Street. This is why I take women out into the field and bring them right here, and we look at red pill content, and at first they're shocked and appalled, but at the end of that, taking a look at all the information that they absorb, you ask them a question: was this beneficial for you? And the answer thus far has always been yes, because now they can see information from a man's perspective. Because when you get them out of echo chambers and introduce a man's perspective, it becomes way more clear of the things that are necessities to bring to a man in order to qualify for one enough to get on bended knee. I've said that since Jump Street, because I said, looking at different portions of the manosphere and the woman's sphere, if you want to call it that, and they're two opposing polar opposite forces at each other's throats, and it's just like, yo, let's have a conversation regarding all of this, right? If we why sit here and complain in our perspective corners and at war with each other? Let's bring everything to the table and let's have a discussion. So I think this will be a good video. Let's continue to go in.
Dating previously put me on Kevin Samuels. I will say initially I was taken aback. As someone who I believe am very pro-woman, I love women, I appreciate women, especially us Black women. I definitely am somebody who has a big heart for other women. I was like, this man is so rude. What is going on here? Why are women calling into this show? Like, what's happening? But knowing the kind of person I am, I had to sit down and really hear him out and watch multiple of his broadcasts. I would say I've probably watched maybe 40, 50 plus of his shows since I found out about his channel back in June, July. Over the time, his message definitely grew on me, even having discussions with the man I was dating about different podcasts and the different shows he was having, and having discussions with an actual man who...
Couple of things I just put together. Let me also let me give you guys some context based on what she just said. She said, even since before he had 100,000 subscribers, I want to say Kevin hit 100,000 subscribers about 5 months ago or so, probably like 4 or 5 months ago or so. So that means that she was in another relationship with a dude 4 or 5 months ago ish. So that means that the dude that just proposed to her was probably 6 months in a relationship, if my math is correct. that is incredibly fast. That's the first thing that I'm gonna say, which is interesting because the man before gave her information inside of YouTube. I wonder if the man now knows about this portion of YouTube. I think I want to say, I feel like I've heard Kevin say before that 6 months to a year, you should know. I don't believe in that at all. I mean, my feelings towards marriage are already lower than average, seeing all the things that have happened in and around my life and looking at the data and statistics. But for the purpose of building strong families, I can rock with you there. I get it from that perspective, because once you introduce children into the mix, people will be people and will want to break up. So what's the contract to make y'all stay together in order to make sure that you're producing active members and productive members of society? So I just wanted to call those things out real quick. Also, she comes across as super bubbly and feminine. She seems like a pleasant person to have a conversation with. So I think that that's key. All right, let's keep going.
Was well within the financial bracket that Kevin Samuels talks about. It was really interesting to see how differently we as men and women think and how we go about dating, and how sometimes if you as a woman don't understand the perspective of men, you kind of sell yourself short or put yourself at a disadvantage because you're not navigating the dating marketplace with a mind that is conducive for getting the kind of results that you want.
And that's the real reason why a dude who's high value that watches Kevin Samuels content shows her the content, is because he in that dating relationship was not getting the results that he expected at that level of value. But then that goes into a portion of the show is to say, do you know how much work that it takes for a man to be, or any person in general, to become that high valued? And with that should come certain characteristics that would make her qualify for that dude. But there seems to be a lack of respect for dudes that get to that level of income, or at least a lack of understanding of what it takes to be a sole provider of a family, or to raise a family with 2 to 3 to 4 kids, is what you see they call in talking about. They want a kingdom of children. You understand what I'm saying? So if I was to guess, and they end up breaking up. So she probably took the look at the content, didn't like what was going on, but it took some time to grow on her, as what it normally does. All right, let's move on.
And that's what I found interesting about Kevin Samuels' platform. So although what he has to say might not be the easiest for a lot of people to hear, but I do believe that there's a lot of truth and there's a lot of validity to the things he is saying. And so throughout this video, I'm going to talk about different messages and different lessons that he has taught and how they've related to me and how I've applied that messaging in my life and how it's led and contributed to me being engaged. So first up, on the topic of femininity that Mr. Samuels discusses, I think it's such an important and underrated thing that is being lost in just the culture of today. Right. I truly believe, do you? Like, that's my life philosophy, do you? But if you want a certain outcome, and if you want a certain result in your life, you're going to have to get in line and play the game that needs to be played in order to get that. Right. And that's just the truth. And so in the topic of high value men that Mr. Samuels discusses, these are a certain caliber of men who have certain qualities that they look for in a woman. It's not possible, or I would say it's not as possible, to be able to play that game and win if you choose to be the girl that's out here doing things that they might not be too inclined to want to entertain or anything. And so when the topic of femininity comes up, if you're a traditional minded woman and want a traditional minded man who is an alpha man, who's a provider minded man, and things of that nature, it's just the game you're gonna have to play. And it's something that I enjoy playing. I love being a feminist.
Here's the thing, and this is what scares me about this rhetoric, is when we say that it is a game. And really, this is real life, right? Like, this is real life. If a dude chooses to get married to you, but you were playing a game, you know, when issues actually, once you get that ring, you are now de-incentivized to keep that game playing, right? So I think that those that had grown up in families watching a mother be really supportive, really feminine, a dude being a provider, being masculine, and had examples in their families to model after, which is key, guys, is like, are you finding out information in there about who they are and how they grew up, right? And what type of torture they may have been put under within their family through the separation or the lack thereof, or this, that, and the third. And it's not to cast a negative light on everybody who goes through shit. I was raised in a single parent household as well. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? But I think that within all of this femininity information that is online now, I think it's key to understand that there are those that are mastering the game in order to get what they want, which still petrifies me. I think that it's still good that, you know, you have folks that want to have kids within wedlock so they can be latched onto each other in order to help raise those kids in the perpetuity. But my point is how much of what I'm saying is a game versus reality. Because there's some women that are, it's just a part of their being. There's no part of them that there's not a masculine bone in their body. They want to be feminine, right? So I think it's really key, because who's playing the game and who's not. Let's keep it moving.
Feminine woman. I love being able to exude femininity and really sit in my femininity and allow it to work for me in my life. And I think it's such an important quality, and definitely something I'm going to pass down to my children. And I think it's something that you shouldn't be ashamed of indulging in and taking full advantage of. And so when Mr. Samuels discusses things like remaining in good health, being an agreeable woman, being somebody who can bring a man peace, who's not going to be out here doing the complete most, I truly...
The peace thing, man, and being in good health. Listen, we got to have a talk about all of our waistlines, but especially women. You know, I don't understand. You know, I just don't get it, right? Just go natural with your hair if that's what you're scared about with working out. Just go natural. It's fine. We like natural hair, okay? But please work out.
Truly believe it. There's just so much value to that. Because mind you, you're dealing with men who work hard. You're dealing with men who are provider minded. You're dealing with men who aren't mediocre, who are the type to aim for greatness. And they can't be at work dealing with the pressures and things that they're dealing with out there and then come home and be fighting a whole war zone as well. It doesn't work that way. You'll quickly get left. And so I just think it's important as a feminine woman to be proud of that. Have that be a quality that
Facts.
You continuously work on and that you continuously improve to be a better spouse or a better mate to your high value quality man. Now, in regards to the...
She is nailing it right now. If I was to guess, I would say that she has had the goal of marriage in her mind since a youngin'. She's probably grown up in a 2-parent household. I don't think that it's a game for her. I think it's maybe she had to make some tweaks to certain things. I don't know, maybe she'll get into it, but this seems like this is a part of her being, a part of her soul. It seems like this is what she wants, and she's been on a goal towards getting it, and now she's going to make sure that her family, her future family, is going to be able to see her as an feminine example. I think that is key.
The feminism movement and things of that nature and the idea of the modern woman and stuff. My personal opinion, I choose not to identify as a feminist. Just being a Black woman and understanding the history of that movement, I know it's not something that was created with the intentions of serving women like me. And so it's just not something I choose to agree with. I am pro-women. I believe women should have equal rights in terms of pay gap, healthcare, and things of that nature.
As we all do. There's no one here that's gonna disagree with that. Go ahead, mama, you was cooking.
I believe that we as women deserve all of those things.
Yep.
I'm not talking about feminism in that sense. Now, in regards to dating and the dating marketplace, I do think that yes, we as men and women are equal, but there are certain qualities that we each have.
Yes.
We're equal, but we're not the same. And I think that is an
Yes.
important distinction for us to really understand. And I will speak for myself, and these are the values that I have. Yes, I'm equal to my man, but there are certain qualities that he has that I can't even try to touch, and there are qualities that I have that he just doesn't. So we complement each other really well. I'm not vying with my man and competing with my man in areas that I know are for him to excel in. And that's just what it is. I stay in my lane and he stays in his. And I feel like for me and the mindset that I have in regards to dating, that's what works best. And so where the idea of like certain feminist ideologies can come into play and be a hindrance to the progression or the quality of a relationship is when you bring in that mindset and it causes you to now go head to head with your spouse. I believe as a man, you're the head of the household. If I'm looking onto you to provide, to be a father figure, to be a leader in the household, there's responsibilities that come with that. But in order to lead in that position, I as a woman have to be able to submit to his authority in that arena.
All the ladies that are listening right now, just take a look at the comment section. Well, what you're gonna find is the same dudes on other videos about bad behavior that are going off on those videos. Those same dudes will be down into this video right here with clapping emojis. I'm trying to tell you, go look right now.
Not saying that as a woman, you're now just this second class citizen and you're just a slave or whatever. The thing is, a feminine woman understands her power and understands that in any situation, you have the ability to persuade. You know how to talk to your man. You know how to get the outcomes that you want, but you do it in a feminine manner. It's not aggressive. It's not combative. It's not you trying to go tit for tat with roles and position and power in the relationship, but there is a feminine way and a feminine manner to achieve that outcome. And that's how I believe traditional relationships work best.
Yeah, traditional relationships, but within 2021, not everyone is trying to ride or die with that traditional shit. But those same people that are not trying to ride with it are still looking for a ring.
Now, in regards to career, Kevin Samuels definitely talks about this a lot. I'm still in the middle of reading it, but it's this book called Getting to I Do. And the author makes this point that I found to be very interesting. She said that as a woman, you need to...
She's reading books about how to get married. Listen, she talked about it before. It's about what are you doing? What work are you putting in to achieve the outcome that you want? What are you doing? I mean, this goes into every facet of life. Shit, to me, to be able to do all this YouTube shit, you know how many hundreds of hours of research that went into all of this shit? Thousands of hours of research that went into all of it because my outcome was trying to be successful at this shit. She's reading book. I didn't even know there was how to get married books. I had no idea, but I'm a dude, so I shouldn't know. You understand what I'm saying? But if you have a goal to get there, do everything in your power. She calls it playing the game. I would probably word it a little bit differently because as a dude like myself that has a magnifying glass pointed at each and every woman that comes into my arena, I'm like, oh shit, okay, is this another game player? But I digress. That's besides the point. But what are you doing to become successful at the things that you're trying to do? She's going as far as reading goddamn marriage books. I didn't even know that they existed. Let's move on.
Ask yourself, are you a woman with a career or are you a career woman? What is your priority? And from when I was small, I always knew that I wanted to be the woman that had the husband, had the children. Like that was something that I had a calling. I always knew that at the forefront, if I left this world knowing that I played my role as a wife and as a mother exceptionally well, I would be a full and complete and happy woman. And that's just me. And so understanding that mindset and understanding the desires and the goals that I have in life, it now has to translate in how I move and in how I date and in what I seek in a partner and how I have a relationship with that partner. I love the point that Kevin Samuels makes in regards to how we as women or modern women sometimes lose sight of the value of marriage and are so gung-ho at pursuing educational opportunities and career opportunities and things of that nature, but neglect their dating life. And I think it's just an important thing to really take note and to heed. women are incredible. We're out here doing the damn thing, getting careers, getting amazing high-paying jobs, the degrees, and all of that. But at the end of the day, are you a woman with a career, or are you a career woman? And so what sometimes happens is that you have women who are at heart women with a career, but because they've been so fixated on getting that next promotion, getting that degree, they've neglected their inner desire for marriage, for children, the family unit. And it might cause a lot of unhappiness and misery. And Kevin Samuels talks about this a lot. He'll even mention how there are high-paying attorneys and stuff, and they're in their 40s and 50s. And if you ask them, would you replace your high-paying career to be a wife and mom? Hands down, yes, I would. So you have women going into careers that they really, truly, yes, they might love them, but it's not their main priority in life, but are miserable because they neglected the dealings of their heart and the things that they truly wanted. And I've always known that's something I didn't want to do. One thing about me is that I've always been real with myself. I've always known the things that I truly desire out of this life, and I think it's important to move with that in your mind. I will say also that he makes the point that it's like sometimes we as women put dating on the back burner and don't put as much intention and seriousness into it as we put into our degrees, into our education, into our careers. And that's a problem. There's a certain level of effort that it comes with in terms of making sure that you're at your best self, whether that's losing weight, whether that's just making yourself feel as whole as possible, getting into therapy, doing the inner work you need to be at your healthiest position possible. That's some effort that we have to put into dating in order to get the outcomes that we want.
Here's the thing. I love what she's saying. Because, again, it's about the level of efficacy in your life, right? In attaining whatever goal it is. I mean, and this lesson is true for men as well as for women. When I'm talking about things within your purpose, how many hours are you putting in the gym, the proverbial gym, to get wherever it is that you want to go? But I appreciate when she starts talking about that she knew herself. And I preach this on the channel all day, okay? Because my dreams are my dreams and your dreams are your dreams, all right? But you have to create them for you. All right, you have to create them for you. You have to do some introspection. You have to understand what makes you tick, what makes you happy. You have to. It is imperative, because you could be searching for or creating a plan for something in the future that has nothing to do with where you actually want to go. And you'll get there. You spend all that time, damn near decades, getting there, and then you are not happy. You are not satisfied. You're not happy. This goes for men and women. I think that is key. How many hours are you putting into the gym of each of the goals in your life that align up to who you are as a human being?
Now, I will speak for myself personally. I have not had the most positive relationship with dating. I've definitely had my own fair share of heartbreaks and things of that nature, and a lot of hurt and trauma from relationships and other types of relationships as well. But I made the initiative during my gap year to get into therapy. I was a college graduate. I was working at Hooters at the time, so it wasn't like I was out here balling or nothing, but I understood and I knew that I needed help. And so I went into therapy and I paid my little money and got the help that I needed and really began the process of working on myself. And changing how I perceived relationships, learning to work on things like setting boundaries and things of that nature that really set me up to be in a position to be my best self. Because one thing I've learned is that when you as a woman are broken, or really you as a person are broken and hurt, you tend to attract that kind of energy towards you. So I'm sitting here upset at the fact that I'm attracting really subpar men who are hurting me. It's like I have to take a minute and step back and see, why am I attracting this? Not only why am I attracting this, you can attract whatever you attract, but why am I allowing this to remain in my life? Why am I having relationships with these type of men? And I really had to learn and process a lot of the traumas and stuff that I've been through and work on becoming a better me so that I can attract and be with, and not only just be with, but accept more quality love. So that was definitely something I had to work on. Now, I wanted to go ahead and speak on the topic of dating intentionally. So that is something that is very important to me. When I met my now fiance, I was in a headspace where it was like I had given up on love, like I really wasn't looking. But my man really shifted my perspective on that. Before my man even saw me and we had our first phone call, he was like, look, I am dating intentionally. I am not out here trying to play games. I'm not out here trying to waste your time or my time for that matter. And so this is, he set the tone for the relationship from the get-go, from the first time I ever heard his voice. And so for me as a woman, it whipped me into shape because it was like, look, you're not dealing with one of these dudes you've been dealing with before out here. You got to whip yourself into shape or this man will quickly drop you because he's not here for the games and stuff. And so by the second date, my man and I were exclusive. He was like, look, I don't know what else you got going on, but I want us to be exclusive. And when I tell you I cut off everybody else, removed them off of social media, past exes, little flings here and there, did a whole overall.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing.
I didn't
Sorry to this man.
Because I was like, I'm focusing on this and I'm going to intentionally pursue this. Yes, how my proposal happened was a surprise to me, but the fact that we were going to get engaged and he was looking at marriage sooner than later was not a surprise at all. And that's the thing about being with an intentional, serious-minded, quality man is that they're not out here trying to waste their time or yours. They're going to tell you what it is up front. And the thing is, my man knew what he was looking for in a woman too. So he's not here trying to play the field and trying to figure it out. My man told me that when he was out here really dating, first date, he knew if it was gonna work or not. Maybe second date if it was kind of unsure, but it didn't take years to know if he wanted to put a ring on a woman's finger. Like a matter of months. And I won't say how long it took for me to get engaged.
It was like 4 or 5 months. I think that this is a strong point, right? So, she talked about accountability not too long ago. And I think it's a strong point is to know how serious that they are regarding your particular goal. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain women out there that might be playing the field as well, doing y'all thing, men are doing their thing. But I think that that's key, right? How serious is he with that particular goal? Because more than likely, if he's not a marriage-minded dude, he is going to be probably damn near next to nothing that you can do in order to make him change his mind until he is ready. If I was to guess, I would say, because in the beginning of the video, she said that she was 23 and I've always liked older dudes. So the dude is probably in his 30s, probably deep in his 30s, where he's gone through it. He's had all the fun that he needed to have. And now he's just like, yo, I just want to settle down. I want to start a family. I still think that 5-ish months, 6-ish months is a little bit too short because shit. I mean, I've met people in a year later, I was like, oh, this is who you are? this is who you are? Oh, shit, it's been a year and a half at some, and I was like, oh, you flipped the switch completely, you bastard of a human. Anyway, guys, this video is, a little over halfway done. It's about another 10 minutes of it. I think I got all the information that I needed. Fantastic content, fantastic creator. Here's the thing, guys, and I think it's important too on this channel that not only do we go over instances of bad behavior so you can see what's the bullshit to watch out for, but then we can also go over good behavior as well, right? What does it mean or what does it look like of a feminine woman? I think that it's key to wrap your mind around different pleasantries that you will see within that personality type so you can readily identify it when you see it. However, I do have some concerns because there is the playing of the game thing at the end of the day. And no matter what happens in the relationship, in this situation, a 4 or 5 month relationship doesn't mean it's going to hold into now this bond that is created in order to keep human beings together. Because why? Humans will be humans. But it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, it's different strokes for different folks. It's going to take different things to make different people happy. And if they're happy, then flourish. Okay. Here's the last thing that I'm going to comment on. I think that, I've talked about this before, kind of in the power of video content and media. And we know about the power of this looking at syndicated shows over the last 50, 60, almost 70 years, okay? The power of putting an image on a screen with a bulb behind it or an LED behind it or whatever it is in order to show you content. We all know the power of that. And the thing is that YouTube, consuming this content of YouTube, has the same exact power, if not more, okay? Because there's a degree of authenticity up here that is not shown on TV, on these syndicated TV shows, right? It's kind of it's a manicured version of reality, okay? That is made specifically to keep your eyes glued. But on YouTube, it's a little bit more of the wild, wild west up here, I will say that. But this can be the impact. A content creator creating content specific to dating, relationships, marriage, and then give you the real about that. And then you change your perspective because you get out of the syndicated version of media. You get out of the echo chambers that you're in, and you see it from another perspective as another data point to help you on your route to whatever goals that you have, okay? But as I always say, always look at a cross section of content creators in the space so you can get different opinions from different people, okay? Because the more data points that you have, the more information to close that gap that you're looking to close. Fantastic content yet again. All right. Shout out to the content creator. I put all the information down into the description box below for you guys to finish out the video. And that's where I will leave this one today. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, I got a Patreon as well. We go over content like this. We go over financial advice. We have after parties for the Red Cup Talks on Fridays. We do workshops. We do all type of dope shit up there, okay? Feel free to click on the link down in the description box down below to see all that is in store, okay? Until next time, YouTube.